welcome to Monday Motivation. My name is Tash and I'm a Grand Prix dressage rider from Australia. And Monday Motivation is all about pumping you up and getting you ready for the riding week ahead. Now, I know I've shared with you over the years that my father, Hans, has been sick, and he's been, obviously being my father, a very pivotal and important part of my life. And he unfortunately left this earth last week, and I know you might be, oh, okay, it's fine. He and I were expecting this. He'd been sick for over 5 years and had fought cancer very well. He chopped off his leg in order to survive longer, and at the age of, he was in his 80s, to do that and to remain positive and to remain a fighter, I think is a great testament to who he was. And we obviously talked about his death, and what's really lucky, I think, about how I live my life and how he lived his life is we get to decide what things mean. And he's always told me the story of when I was born, he lost his mother. She died, and she, on her deathbed, said to my father, "The old makes way for the new." And my mother was obviously 8 months pregnant at the time, and she really understood that that is the purpose of life, that we're not guaranteed a million years on the planet. This life and experience of life will end, and so it should end, especially with new life being brought in. I always say that the ultimate tragedy, especially being a mother now of children, is that I would have to bury my children. I know it sounds awful, but I expect and want my children to bury me. Hopefully not for a very, very, very long time. But my father was in his 80s, he lived an amazing life, and this is what I wanted to share with you today. How you can basically hopefully have a little bit of a wake-up call, and I just want to check in and say, are you living a life well lived? Are you living a life that is filled with excitement, passion, joy, adventure, and everything that you could fit into it? Or are you just existing? Because when I look at the life of Hans, and I'm writing his eulogy and making sure that everything's right, I know you might just be thinking, oh my God, why has she got a smile on her face? But I do have a smile on my face because he lived an extraordinary 82 years on the planet. He lived a life, he really jam-packed a lot into his life. There was lots of travel, lots of adventure, lots of testing times. He grew up in the war. He had not horrible things happen in business, but anyone in business had really testing times, and he saw through all of that. I'm not saying his life was perfect. I'm not saying he was perfect. He'd be the first to say no. But I do have a smile on my face when I think about his life, because it was a life well lived. So today, for Monday Motivation, I know it might not be so motivating, maybe just give you something to think about. Are you living a life well lived? Or is it time that you put some more passion, excitement, adventure, fun, joy, love, enjoyment back into your life? Remember, I am doing a really free, cool life training coming up in a couple of weeks. The dates are below, and I would love to share with you more about things that I actually discussed with Hans about how to live a life well lived, and how to he and I always actually even butted heads talking about what's the purpose of life and what should goals be around life. He used to fight vehemently about some of my goals. Like, I was like, I'm going to go to the Olympics. He's going, you shouldn't do that. He was very against me setting goals around going to the Olympics, and against setting certain riding goals and certain goals that I set in my life. Not to say that he didn't support and love that, but we definitely had a difference in opinion of what constituted a good goal and a good expression of life. So I'd love to see you in the training. Hope that's given you lots of things to think about, and you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.